In our previous video, we tried to cover ECM, or electronic countermeasures, but, as the topic is so broad, we couldn't cover it all. Today we will try to cover all of remaining ECM, and the remaining two categories of EW. Another method of jamming, is to jam the wireless communications of enemy, to disrupt their ability to exchange vital information. This would prevent enemy from getting usable intel, that could be used in decisive planning of an attack, or counterattack against you. Radio jamming is done by blasting radio signals on the same frequency your enemy is using on to communicate. Like shouting when one is talking, so they cannot hear each other. Russia has put a lot of effort into jamming. One of those systems is Murmansk BN. Murmansk BN is a long-range communications jamming system, specially designed to take out NATO and United States high-frequency military satellite communications. Russia claims it has a range of 3,000 kilometers, or 5,000 kilometers in ideal situations, such as weather. Satellite imagery show these systems just south of Sevastopol, Crimea. If those ranges are to be believed, it would cover the whole of Europe, and entire Middle East. But even with most conservative beliefs, it would cause serious communication issues for the militaries, operating in Black Sea and in most of Ukraine. GPS jamming is another one in EW. And jamming GPS signals is not that difficult, as the signal is already weak, due to the direct connection with satellite. As back in the first Gulf War, when GPS was brand new. But somehow, several Iraqi units managed to disrupt American GPS with comparatively cheap and crude electronics. There are other reports as well, like Norway, where Russia has been interfering with the GPS navigation. Recent events in Syria have also indicated that how vulnerable GPS is to jamming. And this is not just limited to American GPS, every navigation system is susceptible to jamming. Be it China's Beidou, Russia's GLONASS, or European Galileo. And the issue is, many modern weapons and systems are reliant on these navigation systems to operate. This issue didn't go unnoticed though. Many weapons use more than one guidance system. For example, American Stormbreaker, or GBU-53 glide bomb, uses both GPS and inertial guidance along with active radar and infrared homing. Jamming has seen a lot of research, with the rise of drones. As the drones are unmanned, and are controlled by ground operator via a data link, here, jamming can actually shoot down a drone, without firing a single shot, but by disrupting that link. This is not the case with all kind of drones though, as the rise of small drones, it has been a real issue of security for places that are generally considered safe. These drones can be packed with explosives, and just smash up into the target. Back in 2018, President of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, was nearly assassinated when two explosive-packed drones exploded near him, while he was giving a speech. Defending against these drones is difficult, as they are small and low observable on radars. An air defense solution is more costly against them, as defense costs thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars per missile, compared to the some $100 drone. There are some anti-drone systems developed to counter such threats. Russia has been known to operate such systems to protect its air base in Syria. Here is a short clip of taking down the swarm of drones, by using microwave cannon. Electronic countermeasures are used to mitigate the effects of jamming. In ECCM, weapon, instead of emitting a signal, would pick the jammer's signal and home onto it, until it reaches the location the signal has been broadcasted from. Another method is to constantly change the frequency of radar. And here comes the AES technology. AES or radar consist of several transmit and receiver modules unlike PES or radar, and they can operate at multiple frequencies at a single time. Active electronically scanned array radars are very much difficult to jam, as they keep changing the frequency, so the enemy cannot pick one particular frequency to jam. Or the enemy would be forced to jam multiple frequencies at a time, that would drain jammers' power, which would result into comparatively weak signal. Besides, passive radars have also become much more jamming resistant, as the computing power has increased exponentially, allowing them to pick the differences between the real and the fake signals. Other sensors can also negate the effects of jamming. One such example is IRST, or infrared search and track. IR-ST helps pick up the target that is either jamming or stealthy. It can track targets passively, but it also has some downsides though, like weather can affect its performance, and they don't have as long of ranges as radars. Other systems include laser, which are aimed at the seeker head to the missile, to steer it away from the target. Although it is mechanical. Flares are used to deceive the IR-guided missiles. They work by creating a powerful IR signature, with hope of incoming missile will lock onto it, instead of the aircraft. The last category is electronic support measures. This term is often used as ELINT, or electronic intelligence. It is collecting the information from radar, radio communication or anything that emits a signal, and use that information to analyze, or spy on a potential enemy. Like what frequency they are using to communicate, so you can prepare for attack, or counterattack, like jamming that frequency. You might have heard at the news somewhat regularly, that how a US plane was intercepted over Black Sea by Russian aircrafts, or in South China Sea by Chinese aircrafts. This is what these aircrafts do, electronic intelligence. Modern technology has created an entirely new battle space, where each side must put a watch, or they can lose their entire struggle. NATO classifies EW as its own separate war-fighting domain, as they fight in air, land, sea or space. Thanks for watching. If you find this video interesting and informative, then hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to get the latest updates.